What we do here is go back. What we do here is go back.
And good evening, welcome. It is Saturday, I don't know what it is, 18th of July 2026. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. I haven't got the lights on yet, the window's open, trying to get the last of the sunlight or daylight. Looks like it's going to rain, who knows. The weather's weird, it's been really hot, and now it's really cloudy and really humid. So we'll see. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. That would be appreciated. I will wait briefly, see if anyone says anything, although you may have said something already, but my chat doesn't Yes, it's getting warmer. As thanks to Mick Woods for resuming your membership to the 80+ gold tier. Thank you very much, it is much appreciated. And also thank you so much for the very kind super chat donation. Again, also appreciated, and good to see you back, and hopefully you enjoy your beers. Good to see lots of you in the chat this evening. Viali says had some rain this morning in Northumberland. Cool Cat says audio and video is 5-star. Thank you very much. Looks like it's all good. Buffered and lost sound. Okay. Very strange. I am super dehydrated. I made the mistake, been in the garden today, very warm, and just had a cheese and pickle sandwich. And I forgot, cheese is like basically 99% salt. So I think get myself a drink. Rained in Hull today, says Senmap. Unbelievable. Absolutely nuts. And oh, actually, yeah, there's a deal which I don't know why is it appeared there. Oh yeah, I don't know why it's appeared there. Before we start, if you are interested in a really good deal, if you scroll to the top of the chat, I tried to pin the comment, but it won't let me. So if somebody else wants to do it, pin my comment, feel free to do so. There was an absolutely incredible deal for power supply, MSI Meg, or is it Mag? Meg or Meg? One of them. It's 750 watt modular PCI Express Gen 5.1 power supply, 750 watts, gold rated, fully modular, £55 and change, which is incredible. I bought 2 of them because at that money, you might as well. Like, you can get sort of reasonable bronze ones for that sort of money. So that is incredible value. So I strongly suggest if you are in the United Kingdom and they've actually still got some left, head over to the link and pick one up before they're all sold out. I might pick another one up for stock even. It's just worth doing because they are really good. And they're also cybernetics gold rated as well. What is going on here? I have not scrolled down to the bottom. What's going on here? Mark Gaines. He's upgraded his membership to 80 plus platinum. Thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. Bless your heart. Vianney says it keeps on buffering. Is it still buffering or are we good? I think it might be because I started the stream and I accidentally still had it set to 4K in OBS. So I had to kind of change it because it said that the bitrate was wrong. So I've upped the bitrate, but I've reduced the resolution. So it looks steady there. We haven't dropped any frames at all here. So anything which is happening is at YouTube's end or potentially at your ISP's end. Hello, the wizard. How are you? Matthew Day says decent GPU power options for old and new. Yes, it has 4 PCIe, the old style connectors. They're both daisy chains, so basically it's 2 leads, 2 connectors on each. It's also got 2 EPS plugs on there. Again, 1 cable, 2 plugs, which is absolutely fine. Those leads can take roughly like 400 watts. So if you plug in 2 EPS cables in, realistically, unless you're going for like high-end desktop, then I can't think of a processor which will pull 400 watts. Even something ludicrous like the 13900K, probably 350 at the very most. And that's like rare and it won't do it for long. So yeah, 750 power supply, pretty darn good, pretty decent. Definitely worth looking at if you want to pick one up. Hopefully the stream is not buffering still. Yeah, I just noticed it says upgrade on the little sticker there from Mark Gaines. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize it said that on the little thing at the bottom of the screen. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, good to see you all in the chat here tonight. And yeah, the PC didn't sell. The one we built in the stream about 2 weeks ago. Not entirely surprising, but it hasn't sold. Now I did get a solid offer of £1,100 for it. I listed it for £1,200. Really wanted 11 for it, and I got an offer for 1,100, but it seemed a little bit too good to be true. The kind of language they were using, and I haven't heard from them since. So I don't think they were particularly serious, or maybe it was one of those scams. I get annoyed with those, so it is what it is. So in tonight's stream, we have some potential decisions to make. I've got a few opinions of my own of what I want to do and what I could do, but I'm looking for some input from you and we can just discuss it and see what the best way forward would be. A lot of you have said the same thing, just change the case. And unfortunately, in this particular instance, changing the case isn't really practical because, well, I don't have another case, at least not one which I can use for that. So yeah, we won't be doing that. The case will remain, unfortunately, but the options I have, we will be discussing very shortly. But first of all, I'm going to grab myself a drink because I need a drink real bad. Keep talking amongst yourselves. So I'm going to keep on talking. You can listen to my ice machine if you want to. It's entirely up to you. Where is my glass? Unboxing glass, there it is. Let's have a little bit of syrup in there. Maybe a couple of ice cubes. And then we head over into water territory. Sorry if this makes anybody want to use the toilet. It's going to make me want to do it in a few minutes, I expect. That is water. I'm not peeing. Sort of H2O. Wonderful. Would you like some, Catherine?
I put Ellingham. Yeah, in a minute I'll grab some. It looks like you've been in the sun too long. You're more tanned than Rant.
I am. I have been in the sun quite well, only about half an hour today, but that seems to be enough.
You look quite red on there, but you're more tanned in real life.
Where are we? Rasher's with us. How you doing, Rasher? Yeah, we could do with a little bit of rain here.
What type of watch do you have on today?
Usual.
You have to repeat.
My cheapo. It is the OLEVs. I'm not sure what the actual make it is. It's just called OLEVs. I will find it. People always ask this. It's a very common question, actually. I will find it in the Amazon, and I will post the link. There we go. Purchased June 2026. Let's get a... oh, I won't be able to get an affiliate code, will I? Never mind. Let's paste it in there. There we go. I just pasted the link. Actually, can I... oh yeah, that'd be all right. I can show you that. So let's go to Stream Desktop. And there you go. There it is. OLEVs Men's Watch Designer Calendar Dress Metal Stainless Steel Quartz Analog Waterproof Luminous Wrist Watch Gent Large. It's got a lot of the key phrases there. It's actually pretty good. I quite like it. And they do other colours as well, so if you want the more stealthy black, they do a gold version. There's the one with the green. Then you've got one with the black and silver. Yeah, there's lots of options there. It's pretty good. I like it. Anyway, there you go. There is the information for you regarding the watch. Gunnar Woman says Apple Watch all day. I've still got my Apple Watch, but I don't know. There's something about it which just annoys me. It's actually good, but something which really bugs me about the Apple Watch. This is a tech thing, so I can discuss this on the channel, and it won't be a problem. The Apple Watch, bizarrely, if you receive a text message on your Apple device, obviously it comes up on your Apple Watch as well. But if you delete it off your Apple Watch, it stays on your phone. And if you delete it off your phone, it stays on your Apple Watch. Which means for every message you ever get, you have to delete it twice. That's an absolute abomination. That should never be a thing. Hey, Candy. Don't bite the cables.
He's just rubbing up stuff. Rubbing's pretty slick.
Purchased 2 times. Did you lose one? No, I sent one back because the battery ran out.
Stop playing with the cables.
I made a bit of a mistake. I assumed, because Kath bought me the first one, that's why it's on her account. So Kath bought the first one as a Christmas present, and I wore it for a long, long time, and it started losing time, like 5 minutes a day, and it got 10 minutes a day, quarter of an hour a day. I was like, there's something wrong with this, and I thought wrongly that it was automatic and it didn't have a battery. So I complained to Amazon about a year and a half after the purchase and said, look, this watch is just like, it's supposed to keep the time. That's the whole point of it, but it's losing time. So they're like, no problem, package it up, send it back, we'll issue a credit for it. I was like, cool. And it wasn't until I actually got the box out for the watch to put it back in that I realised that it had instructions on there on how to change the battery. So I thought, it's a battery, not a automatic, which I would have preferred an automatic version if they had one available, but they don't appear to at the moment. But anyway, Amazon gave me the money back, so I just bought another one, eventually. took me about 6 months to think, actually, yeah, I do like that watch. I'm going to buy another. So, yeah, that was the story.
But nothing about how much hard work I have to put in to change the bloody strap size every time. That's your third one.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to repeat.
Hmm?
You have to repeat.
What?
I have to change the strap every
Yeah,
single time.
Kath changes the strap every time we've got this little kit to take the links out.
It's horrendous.
She's got very good at it now. She only broke about 3. It's good. Hey Andrew, how you doing? Somebody, Sintra Chef says it's because it's 2 separate numbers and they are linked to the same device. I don't know if it is, because I've only got 1 mobile number. So it should be just 1 number which are linked between the 2. So you'd think if in terms of like, if you do it on email, if you get an email in on your, say, iPad, and you get an email come in from Outlook on your PC, you delete it on your PC, it's gone on your Mac, and vice versa. Email works as it kind of should do, like IMAP, but for some reason the text messaging doesn't, which is really weird. They said it's a safety thing, just in case you delete a message you shouldn't, but it just seems like aggro.
Like most tech is turning into, to be honest.
Mm.
If the watch is cellular, then it has its own number.
No, it's not a cellular watch, it's just a Wi-Fi only one. Yeah, the watch is Wi-Fi only. Because it was the cheapest Apple Watch at the time, which I think was like 170 quid or something, or 200 quid. Excellent stuff. Dutch Jan says, no watch, no mobile. I am really weird. I've got 2 watches and 2 mobiles. I've got my Android, which I use for making videos, and I've got my iPhone, which I also use for making videos, and is also in my daily driver.
I haven't got a watch.
Kath hasn't got a watch, she doesn't need one.
And I don't take my phone out.
Yeah.
I don't know the time.
Gunnar says, has anyone bought a MB off Amazon? I'm guessing you mean motherboard. Yes, I've bought many. Riley says, if you use an eSIM for your phone, then you said iWatch uses the same mobile number. Only way to have 2 numbers would iPhone using physical SIM and Apple Watch on eSIM. Yeah, I'm just using a normal, everyday, regular SIM on my iPhone, and there's no SIM card in the watch. It is purely a Wi-Fi connection. Well, Bluetooth as well, arguably. Aletta says, I used to work in the construction industry, so I know what you mean. That said, I don't even have a phone. It's actually surprising how many people don't have phones these days. Like, not surprising as in how many, but surprising there are people without them. Kath's brother doesn't have a phone. He kind of shares it with his wife. Aletta doesn't have one. Who else said they didn't have one?
That's Jan.
That's Jan, hasn't got one.
Respect you all. I like that.
Riley says, question might go into your watch app on your iPhone and check the messages is set to mirror my phone. Yeah, it is. It is mirrored, but it only mirrors incoming. It doesn't mirror sent or deleted, which is weird. Really weird. I guess it makes sense because the watch is designed just for a notification, but there is some basic like reply settings you can do to it. But anyway, I don't really use it. Ray says if you set it custom, then you likely need to delete text messages twice. Yeah, apparently it's a thing. If you do a search for why does my iPhone not delete messages, there's loads of people that say about it, because I thought it was a problem with settings, and I thought, oh, this would be great, I can make a video on it. But apparently it's just a thing that Apple does. think I'm finally starting to cool down a little bit now, which is quite nice. Right, so, other things of note this week. Very kind gift from our good friend Andi Archer, bless his heart. One of the strangest gifts I've ever received in the post, I think. Some feathers.
Nice candy. Let's keep it on there.
There's some feathers. They are Canadian goose, I think. I can't remember what the other one was. He did let me know. I put one outside already for the cats to play with, and
Andy wants one now.
do you want flavour? No, she wants a drink.
What do you think of that, Cans?
It's a bit of excitement, isn't it?
A bag's in the way, I think.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Candy's even on the screen. Oh, there she is. She might be. That's so far behind on there. How can I click on? Oh, it's so annoying how YouTube does everything. You gonna play? No? Okay, fair enough. Anyway, that was a gift for the cats. Thank you very much. But I think my gift was actually better. So this is a 32 gig kit of RAM. So essentially gold in a plastic bag. This is a Kingston Fury Beast DDR5 5600 CL36, I think I saw on there. I need to get my other eyes. Hang on a sec. I did check this. They are... Oh, it doesn't say on the sticks, does it? Oh, it does, just on the other stick, which has got a label over it. No, it doesn't. Let's see what it says on the box. I'm sure what it says on the box is going to be accurate. Yeah, Kingston Fury Beast RGB 32 gig dual channel DDR5. So it doesn't say on there what it is. Where did I read it? I must have read it somewhere. I don't think these have actually been opened ever. Oh, actually, there we go. There's another bit. Yeah, 5200 megatransfers per second, CL36 38 38, 1.25 volts, Expo XMB. Fan flipping tastic. That's the sort of thing you like to wake up to in your mailbox. That is awesome. So thank you very much. I can go back up on the shelf. Rasher, how are you feeling these days, Mike, after your bit of a health scare? Better. Better. I wouldn't say 100%, but very close. Getting there. Thank you for asking, though. Matthew Day, question, did you get a plug-in capable browser on your iPad? Truthfully, I didn't really look into it much more. I'm sure there is one, and I think if I use Streamlabs, possibly, which is a paid service, I can do it that way. But obviously the word paid comes to mind, so chances are it won't. Senrab, what time is that?
Keeps the feathers.
See that.
Right near the bottom.
I take the feathers to the back of head and go into cult wearing shorts and see the response. Oh dear, not a bad idea. Hey Pete Unwin, how you doing? Long time no see. Well, I do like that idea. Demand 2000, hello from the Netherlands, here to all chats. Hello and welcome. Cat is thinking, I can't eat it. I think that's absolutely right. Dutch Chan says, I have two 27-inch and one 24-inch monitor. Why would I look at a small, shitty screen? Fair enough. That is fair. That is absolutely fair. Oh, Gunnar says, so I bought one and it's out of warranty on the Asus website. So contacted Amazon, they say they only have 30 days. Anyone else have this crap? Yes, if you purchase something from Amazon themselves, you generally get a year's warranty with Amazon. If it's sold on Amazon, but sold by another company, like resold, then generally Amazon will give you a 30-day warranty. The remainder of the warranty will be with the manufacturer or the reseller. So you do have to be a little bit careful with that. Sometimes you've got to play a little bit of hardball with them and speak to a customer service advisor and just give them hell. And generally they'll be quite helpful. They may not give you exactly what you want, but sometimes they can give you something which is like a decent compromise. If they turn and say like, no, that's it, the warranty is done, you might be able to fight with them and get them like to refund like half the price or 75% of the price. You do have to be careful. That is one thing with Amazon shopping. Try if you can to use Amazon for the seller and also sold by. That makes a massive difference. At least in my experience, it has done anyway. Funny enough story actually with Amazon this week. This week, Amazon, right, I've ordered, because it's hot, so I ordered some roll-on deodorants, some natural ones, you know, like aluminum or aluminium free and all that kind of stuff, like just better than being like a spray can of poison, which Kath gets upset about. So I don't want to upset Kath, clearly. So get some nice organic deodorant type stuff. And I ordered 2 organic toothpastes and 3 fluoride-free aloe vera natural toothpaste and 3 roll-on deodorants, 2 of one flavour and 1 of another. And when it arrived, it was like 1 toothpaste and 2 deodorants. So it was like, oh god, here we go, Amazon again. So I got onto Amazon, very, very sorry, blah, blah. It was an Indian chap, and I think there was a little bit of a language barrier there. I'm from the West Country in England. He's from India, I guess, wherever it may be. It sounded Indian. Forgive me if I'm wrong. So there was a little bit of to and fro in, and at one point he said, do you understand me? And it's like, yeah, I think so, but I don't think he understood me. So what ended up being is I was expecting a refund for 1 tube of toothpaste and 1 stick of deodorant. Weirdly, I did get the refund for the toothpaste and also for the deodorant, but then I got a credit on the account for like £11, whatever it was. And then today I received another package with another 2 tubes of toothpaste, which they'd reordered, which should have come with the additional stick of deodorant, which should have come in as well, but that was missing again. So I thought, right, I'm not going to bother chasing that up again, because I've already had like 2 free tubes of toothpaste here and probably a deodorant as well. So I've just ordered some more stuff again. But yeah, Amazon are a funny lot, and sometimes like they will give you a refund, let you keep the goods and send you a replacement. It's just luck of the draw and who you speak to. That's Jan. All that misery for €11. Yeah, I know.
Shut up, you had such joy from it.
I did have joy. It was great joy. What did the letter say? Might just stick to a bay leaf under each arm. It won't stop you from sweating, but you'll smell like soup. Well, it's better than smelling like pastas.
Same of Reali.
What did Viali say?
It's right at the end.
Oh, Mike, I saw you salted earth roll. Yeah, I think that's the ones we got, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we got.
Oh, I don't need
Salted earth. Actually, I could check, can't I?
We don't need to know.
Yeah, we
It's
do.
salted
It's
earth,
very
yeah.
exciting. Where are we? Orders. Returns and orders. Does it say delivered to? No, it doesn't, does it? Right, let's show on the desktop. So there was the original order. 2 toothpastes, 1 of those and 2 of those. And it says that parcel was left in the mailroom. Well, we don't have a mailroom. So then they re-delivered it here. They attempted it again. So I got the toothpaste, but I didn't get the deodorant. So yeah, very strange. I have no idea what they're doing. I don't think they've got any real idea what they're doing. It's a bit of a free-for-all, especially on cheap stuff. Sleepy Femboy GG says, bro, I have RAM in my lap. Should I sell it? Yeah, or give it away. Do something nice. Dutch Jan says, Amazon does almost everything for Mike and he's one of the biggest customers in England. I don't think I am, but I'm getting close to it. There was a point where we were literally getting an Amazon delivery like every single day of the week.
I'm trying to shop elsewhere personally. Dolphin Fitness is quite good.
Viali says it's the best I've ever used. It keeps you completely dry. I don't know if it does keep me. Actually, yeah, it's quite dry. And still fresh as a daisy. Rasha says the problem with Amazon's great return policy is people abuse it. I bought a set of gaming headphones from Amazon Warehouse and the cushions were gone. Didn't open it for a few months, so no comeback. Yeah, knowing how easy it is to do Amazon returns, like if I've bought a motherboard on eBay and it's not got a heat shield or IO shield or something, or an M.2 slots protector is missing or something, it's really tempting just to order it on Amazon and just take it off and send it back. But karma, shouldn't do that. It's very bad. However funny it might be, you shouldn't do it. But I know people definitely do. Good old Amazon. And of course, if you want to use Amazon to buy shopping, anything at all, I've just put some links in the video description for the various Amazon stores around the world. If you want to make purchases, you can do. We get a small commission based on what you pay. We don't add any cost, so it doesn't cost you any more. It costs you exactly the same as what you would pay anyway. Just a small portion of it goes towards helping support the channel. So if you can do, it's all good. If you can, it's fine. Cool Cat says, I bought my deodorant from the chemist. When I asked whether deodorant was, they asked me ball or aerosol. I said neither. I'm going to put it on my armpits. Oh dear, very good. What's that? Kelcat says, it's absolute madness. After my build, a friend said, you might as well buy another 16 2x8 since it's only 40 quid and then it'll fill up the last 2 slots. It was good advice. We're rich now. Yeah, RAM is not looking good, is it? It's not great at all. Right. Anyway, we should take a look at these other things we need to do to fix this PC up. So let's get some lights on.
They might like it if you didn't.
Yeah, they might not.
They might. The case, I mean.
Oh yeah. Whew. Right, let's wait for the white balance of the thing. There's loads of flies in here. Loads of flies. Right, that's better.
The agent works.
Yeah, there's loads of flies. The deodorant was obviously not doing its job properly. Right, so the PC that won't sell. So just for a quick recap, those of you that didn't see the stream 2 weeks ago, it is a Corsair 3200D RS, and it has a Gigabyte B650 motherboard in there, the Eagle AX I believe it was. It's got a 2 terabyte drive. It also has 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, which I'm not actually sure what RAM I ended up putting in there in the end. I think it was Vengeance, Corsair Vengeance from memory. So it's pretty nice. It's also got a 7700X processor in there. It's got the lovely Thermaltake TH360 V3 Ultra with the LCD screen. So very nice cooler, 360mm RGB up the wazoo. There's a couple of potential problems I can see. So the power supply that I put in it, I think was I'm actually not even sure what power supply. I think I put in a power supply which was a Thermaltake GF-A3, which is a really good power supply, but possibly a little bit of overkill for what the PC needed. That case is bloody disgusting, Mike. Thank you. I know. It is. Yes, Corsair round. Thank you, O'Reilly. So the biggest problem that I could see was the power supply was too much for what it really needed to be. So I could have reduced the cost there. The graphics card was a really big problem, I think, for a lot of people. And that was the Intel Arc B580. So that cost me about £280-ish when I bought it. They kind of went up in price and then they come down a little bit, but now they're still around about sort of £300 if you can find one. But the trouble is, the Arc B580 is a bit of an oddball. It does some things really, really well, and for 1440p gaming, it's actually really competitive. But where it falls down is high refresh rate 1080p, and also the brand and the drivers to some extent. So I think that is going to be a problem, because a lot of people assume that when they're buying a PC, it's got to be NVIDIA. Possibly AMD, but if you're someone who's sold PCs, flipped secondhand PCs, generally NVIDIA graphics cards will sell much easier than the AMD one. AMD ones will sell if they're cheap. NVIDIA ones will sell pretty much regardless of the price, which is the way the market is anyway in general, so it's no big surprise. So with that said, I have some considerations. So you'll possibly remember in last week's video, we actually took a look at and tested this motherboard here. So this is the MSI B650 Tomahawk, which is actually a really, really nice board. I've purchased and used many of these over the years. They've always been very, very good to me. This one was missing an M.2 cooler. We got it really cheap. This, I think, was £67. The Gigabyte B650 Eagle AX, which went into the build, I also managed to pick up a really good deal on that. So that was only about £70 as well, maybe about 75. So similar sort of pricing. But I am also thinking I have got an MSI AIO, which is the one with the little LCD screen. Looking at that and thinking, I've actually got an MSI RTX 5060 Ti 8GB in here in my PC behind me, and that I picked up for a steal as well. That was like £279, I think it was. So that's actually a really cracking price. They're normally about 300, 320, 330. And being that it's brand new, it's going to probably warrant that value or that amount of money. So one of my considerations a couple of days ago was take out the motherboard, take out the AIO, take out the graphics card, put in the MSI motherboard, put in the MSI cooler, and put in the MSI graphics card. So that way there'll be a really, really nice unified system. All of the RGB lighting controlled from Mystic Light or from MSI Center. And also being a GeForce graphics card, probably going to be interesting a lot more people, because I think the graphics card was the problem. And a 5060, people are going to be like, cool, 5060, that's cool. And it's a TI as well, so a little bit better. So that was one of the considerations, which I am still umming and ahhing about. But a couple of days ago, I actually picked up yet another bargain from our eBay Discard bot, which was this little gem. So it doesn't look particularly exciting, but this is a OEM version, or one of the brands OEM. I'm not even sure what brand this is. I have no idea. If anyone can recognize it, I'm going to say it's probably an Acer or something, but I am not sure. But this is basically an OEM version of the GeForce RTX 3060, 12GB. I picked this up for £150. So this is roughly £100 cheaper than the graphics card that is currently in that PC. If I just leave it as it is, without wasting any more time and effort on it, and just swap out the graphics card for this, I can reduce the price by £100, and also there's going to be more interest in a GeForce graphics card. At least that's my theory. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to have a quick look and I'll pack this other board away. I have done some testing with this. It does work. It is seeming to run a little hot. I did a what is it? The Steel Nomad, the stress test. And with this, it was getting up to about 90 degrees on the hotspot and about 80 on the GPU. So potentially this is in need of a repaste anyway. So I would probably refurbish it anyway before I put it into a PC. But let me know what you think. Do you think that is a sound idea? Because I actually quite like to keep that graphics card because it's pretty cool. And I can always do an MSI build a little bit later on. So we'll see. But I thought 150 for a 3060, that gives me a little bit of leeway on that other PC, and I think it'd be better. And also, yeah, CMCB says there. Yeah, and Welly Bob says, well, Mike, just swap the 3060 12 gig into the PC, it will sell without the faff. I think that is right. And also what I'll do is I've got a couple of those MSI gold rated power supplies coming. So those cost me £55. The GF A3 was worth about 100 or so, getting towards that. So if I can claim back or claw back about £40 on the power supply, claw back the best part of 100, £130 on the GPU, that's a pretty decent savings. So that might even mean that I can sell the PC at closer to £1,000 than £1,200 and still actually make some money on it, which is awesome, because obviously that is the idea, to try and make some money. I've still left then with the Intel Arc B580 graphics card, which I don't think I'm ever going to manage to sell. I might just keep it as like a family heirloom, let the kids give it to their kids and grandkids and what have you. Yeah, I'm not too sure what else I'll be able to ever use that for, but there you go. What was people saying? Yeah, Wenny Bob's, just swap the 3060 12 gig. I think that is a good idea. Senra bought the 5500 X3D from AliExpress, £127 this week. Swapping media PC to Ryzen 5600 to pass to daughter's PC, AM4 for the win. Yeah, they're pretty good. Dutch Jan says, I wouldn't do that, Mike. The case is NE. Just put a better GPU in it. Yeah, I think it would be... I think that is the overall consensus. Dutch Jan says, no, just put the 3060 in and leave the price as it is. I might try that. O'Reilly says that is an OEM RTX 3060. It is a Lenovo OEM card. Oh, thank you. It has got a badge on the side, which has got ridiculously small text. It just says, I can see made in China in large letters. It's got some numbers on there. I would guess it is a Lenovo. But yeah, if O'Reilly has guessed it, then there we go. We'll stick with that. It hasn't got any of those void if removed stickers on it. So I don't know if it has been repasted already or not. So, but I think it's probably a good idea to investigate it, because the temps, I feel, are a little bit warmer than they should be. But having said that, I haven't had a 3060 for a little while. So maybe I'm a little bit out of sorts. Aletta says, the storm passed by my house and is still standing. Cool beans. Good stuff. O'Reilly says it's the Lenovo FRU 5V10 is the official part number. I think I can see that on there. 5V10W6274. I got 62764 on the end. Whatever that is. It showed up as a 12 gig anyway, so. And it works. I have tested it, it works. So if I do anything tonight and I break it, it's on me, definitely. Mark Barry says, I'm just running a 4060 and a Ryzen 5 5600. Does the job with an MSI B450 Gaming Plus Max, similar to Tomahawk. Cool. Cool stuff. Cool beans. We have cool beans. Right, I'm going to get my magnetic tray out. I have got a magnetic thing here to actually do GPU work on, but I'm not sure how well it's going to actually do, so we'll see. Let's best thing to do is take it apart, I think, and see what happens. Let's zoom in. Is it? I can't work out if the camera's pissed or it's the desk. I'm not pissed. Trying to twist it a little bit. There we go. That's better. A very small difference, but it does make a difference. Okay, so where do we start with one of these? So there's a screw there, a screw there, screw there, and a screw there. So there's at least 4 around the outside edge. There's 3 on this end. But I'm wondering how many you have to take out, because there's absolutely hundreds of screws around the outside edge as well. So let's just get started, shall we? So let's go with the big ones first of all. They're not very big, so we'll just undo those and see where that leads us. I would ideally love to be able to not undo every single one, because I don't really want to do a full-on refurb. I just want to do a repaste with some PTM. Right, so 4 screws. We know where those come from. And how do we feel about that now? Does that give us any movement? This thing is actually built like a tank. Nope, that doesn't seem to move anything at all.
We want you to get this. You do it blindfolded.
I can't do it with my eyes open. I'm sure this is just going to be taking the back plate off, but I suppose... Oh, hang on. Bear with. Where's my focusing thing? Image. Auto exposure. Auto focus mode. There we go. That should stay in focus now, hopefully. But thanks for the heads up. Alright, he's just taking all bets. Does Mike have to undo all the screws, then work out what went where? Yes. I think that is definitely going to be a thing. So are those all the same size? They appear to be. It's actually getting warmer again, I think. Or is it just me stressed?
You, I think.
I am stressed out a bit. Oh well. Worst case scenario, this will all be... oh, that one don't want to come out. That one's a little bit iffy. Right, let's put those there. On my magnetic parts tray. Donated to the channel by the legend that was Ugly Bob. Right, so that actually doesn't do anything at all and doesn't touch any of the graphics card whatsoever.
I had a memory come up that he sent us those Freddos this time a couple of years ago.
Oh, Freddos. Right, so that is undone. So does that now... No, still doesn't seem to want to come off. So let's go with the screws on the side. I'm sure that's just going to loosen the shroud. We'll see. I miss the days of the 1030 GT where you could just take out 4 screws and the whole thing would just fall apart. That's the 4 on the side. So has anything loosened up? Yes, it has. Good, good, good. Oof. Stroof. That is, yeah, that could do with a little bit of a clean. There's some definite residue there. So I suppose I should really do that first of all. Now I'm going to have to get the air... Oh, is that Otis in the window or is that Candy? Because I forget the air duster. He's going to flip, isn't he?
He does. Do you want a nice feather?
He wants a feather.
There you go. Where's that feather?
On the desk there. Right, so I'm going to get my air duster.
I'm going to feather it off.
I'm going to feather it off a little bit. And I'm actually going to take this just outside because Otis... Well, also, I don't want this dust going everywhere because it is going to be... yeah, it's not ideal, is it? Getting all that dust everywhere. So I don't think there's any easy way for me to change the camera angle so you can actually see out the back window without seeing Kath. So she won't appreciate that none.
I can sit over there.
Hey?
I can sit over there.
I don't know if they'll be able to see me. Sit over here a minute and let's have a look. No, actually I won't. Because I could just angle that up through there, couldn't I? No, I won't. Right. Bear with me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to take this outside and give this a blow off. Woo! And no extra charge. Gonna be noisy stuff out, so I'm sorry. It's all done, Oaks. Oh God, got to close the door. Door is now closed. Sorry, Oaks, chill. Okay, so nearly missed a chair. There we go. So that is looking a little bit better. It's not perfect. Clearly there are some bits that I've missed there, so I probably do need to go over it again with something slightly more aggressive. It's hard to do when you're rushing, especially on a camera. Or yeah, or not on the camera as the case may be. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be that I've given it some care and attention, which appears to be, that looks okay. So do I need to disconnect that? I don't know if I do. I'm trying to see what actually else needs to come out of here. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be now the 3 screws in the end. Yeah, but I can't connect it to the stream. The DJI Pocket 3 you can, and the 4 you can, but the 2 you can't, which I do slightly regret buying that camera, really. It is only £260 and I've used it like 4 times, I think 5 times, but it wasn't really useful. Right, there's 3 more screws there for the back plate. So in theory, that should now come off. But it doesn't. So what is actually left to hold it on? So it looks like this whole frame needs to come off, but we've undone the screws for the frame. I don't think there's actually any more screws in here. So it's either it's really, really baked on. You can see there it's got a little bit hot around that area. It's a bit dusty as well there. But there don't seem to be any more screws actually anywhere it would make any difference. So try and lever it up a bit. Nope, that don't want to come out. Okay, someone let me know in the chat, what am I not doing right here? The plastic frame is screwed in. There's another 2 screws there for the end plate. Let's try taking those out. I can't see a world where that would make any difference at all.
Just eat a tasty steak.
This is a very, very peculiar design. Is there another string?
Just come off like this. There, yeah.
So I'm putting quite a lot of force in there and it doesn't want to go.
So go over the cooler with a hot air dryer.
Ah, there we go. It's gone. It's me. I was pushing the wrong bit. It looks like I do have to disconnect all of these bloody cables, which I don't want to do. Don't want to disconnect the cables. Oh, actually, I might be all right. I might be okay. There we go. It was tested yesterday. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of dust now. I can't imagine that this has been repasted before it's gone out, and the paste has essentially just dried to nothing. So that is yeah, pretty good. The thermal pads look okay. I don't think I'm going to bother changing those. To be honest with you, the ones that are in here are probably better than the ones that I've got anyway. So I've just got that really cheap stuff. And I don't really want to adjust the Z height too much if I can possibly help it. Let's give this a little bit of a wipe over. There's a few little bits of residue, especially in the VRM section. Not a lot. Yeah, the paste is pretty gone. Now it could be the fact that it was PTM, but if you could look at the 2 sections, which hopefully you can just about see, there is not really a great deal there, and there's next to nothing there. So I would quite confidently say that the paste is due a refresh. So there's one way to work out very easily if that is PTM on there already, and that is by using some isopropyl alcohol, because PTM doesn't break down anywhere near as easily as thermal paste. PTM is quite a resilient structure. So if we give this a little squirt, this should break down almost instantaneously if it's paste. Yes, it has. So it's coming off very, very easily indeed. Even the dried out stuff is kind of turning into a goop already. So yeah, that is thermal paste. That isn't a thermal or phase change compound, because if you've ever tried doing a phase change, you'll also notice that where it's been applied, it actually changes the color of the brass or copper or aluminum.
And you're wow, big gas.
All the metals, yeah. It has a slightly corrosive effect. Doesn't harm it really, but you can tell where it's been there. It sort of stains it a little bit more. So I would be reasonably confident that this isn't phase change material. But if anybody actually wants to say in the chat, if they've researched this particular GPU, maybe a Raleigh, do they generally use PTM on this? I would guess they probably don't, being it's a lower tier card. But if anyone wants to validate that for me, I would appreciate it. But yeah, that's broken down really easily. PTM is normally considerably more stubborn. Considerably richer than Yao. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a little bit discolored, but not too bad. Not too bad. Coming off very easily indeed. The story of my life. Right then, let's do the other side. It's quite funny actually how small these GPUs actually are. What? How small they are? Right, I need a little spludger. Has anybody got a little spludger? I used to always just get straight in with this with a metal screwdriver, but I'm trying to be better. So by using a little plastic spludger,
Screwdriver, you used to use your finger, didn't you?
you can just scrape that off the sides. To be honest with you, the stuff on the sides isn't really a problem. I don't know why we tend to do it, but it's I guess one of those things that when you're trying to clean something, you're kind of, you want to clean it, don't you? You want it to look good. You've got to be careful around here because there are surface mounted components all around the outside edge, and the last thing you want to do is to have any of those knock off.
Not going off on that.
Don't knock one off. So yeah, this is pretty crusty, but it's coming off pretty easily. Do some little tweezers really, or a paste sucker.
Why don't you buy a bogey sucker out for babies?
A snot sucker.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Right, more thermal paste removing equipment. And where's my things there? Hey Phil Stodd, how you doing? I just looked up at the chat and saw your name there. Thanks for joining us. So this is going pretty well. This should be yeah, this is breaking down quite nicely. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I know some people spend hours and hours trying to make it perfect, but you really don't need to. As long as it's largely clean and grease free, it should last a long time. Yeah, that's great. Squeaky clean. Oh, I've got messages coming through on me dog in bone. What's going on? Mark Gaines, thank you.
Tell me to do the live.
I know. She's doing it now.
You need a system.
Mark Gaines, thank you very much for your extremely kind donation. £30 from Mark Gaines. Thank you very much. And let's see if there is a message. You never know.
Emails.
I'm looking. I'm on emails. Oh, just checking it's not. There we go. You received £30 from Mark Gaines. Little support for the channel. Thank you very much, Mark. Much appreciated. You're a very, very kind man. Just checking there was nothing else there. No, that is it. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, Mark. And that was very timely because it allowed us to let the paste dry here. Right, so that is looking great. I'm not going to worry too much about the these pads, memory pads. They actually still feel okay and a little bit tacky, so that's good. So what we're going to need next is some PTM, because I never want to see this again. Viali, thank you very much for the Mike's Unboxing gift membership, which has been received by Drew5339. There you go, Drew. That's who you got to thank. Thank Viali. Thanks, Viali. 2 thumbs up. Mikey P. I normally use isopropyl alcohol wipes. I would, but I don't have any. So I use spittle. I don't use spittle, I'm joking. Right, here is heat transfer paste, and I'm trying to not waste any here, but not always easy to do. So what is going to be the best option here? I think if I'm just going to trim down that side edge to square this section off. So I'll chuck that back in. You never know, I might find something strange that I need that for. I can't imagine I will, but... And we'll just kind of eyeball this. I think that's about... Actually, saying that, what I could do is, have I got a marker pen? No. Let me get a marker pen a minute. I want to make my life easier. There's no point making things harder, is there? Well, there's a time and a place for making things harder. So what you can do is just... That should be enough down there. Yeah, it'll be fine. If I cut that on the outside of that line, that should give us a little bit of wiggle room. And there we go. So now is the fun part. So, oh, I just got a grease lever out. Dutch Jan says, does anyone have any ideas how that is possible? Hey Dave Aiken, how you doing? Dutch Jan, my PC just froze after a hard reset and I'm still logged into YouTube after restarting. No, that's a weird one. That is unusual. I have had things that happen before, but yeah, I don't have any...
started logging me into my shopping. I don't even save the password on the computer. I've told you this.
Yeah. Bastards, aren't they? I got a little bit of air bubble there.
Good. They know it whether you save it or not, I think.
So with PTM, what you want to do is grow your nails, first of all, but just get like a spludger or something a little bit firm. And just give it a little press down. You can use your finger if you want to. Has anyone got a finger? I left mine at home. Now you have to try and remove the top layer.
Oh, David Underhill's only just woken up.
Hey David.
I bet it's horrible wintry weather.
So there is the top layer done. And there you go. That is a pretty nice installation. That should do well. So now, got the real fun task. Let's see. There's loads of flakes of thermal paste around there, actually, around the outside edge. Get those off. That'll be fine. Okay, so now I've got to try and line this back up without wrecking the application. So let's get that lined up, and hopefully we can line up all the screws at the same time. We should be okay. It should just fall into place. Ow! That was a long piece of plastic there. Right, that didn't go as well as I'd anticipated, but it's actually very, very close.
Is this the real PTM stuff? There is a lot of fakes out there.
Honestly,
they can't hear me.
Is this real PTM stuff? I honestly couldn't tell you. It came from AliExpress, so it could be anything at all, really. Just alphabet soup. Right, that has lined up reasonably well. So I'm going to go actually in some form of reverse order now. I'll do the main ones for the GPU first of all.
David Underhill, toast and Vegemite breakfast. How buzzy is that?
Yeah.
We have that for our 1 meal a day.
That's what we used to have, yeah, just for our OMAD. Salty as hell.
How do you know the PTM hasn't moved, turning it upside down?
The PTM shouldn't have moved at all. We'll find out from our temps. That is one of the downsides of using things like PTM. If your application isn't great, the temperatures are going to suck. However, saying that, let's go back to the main camera a minute. With PTM, because it is a phase change material, if your pad that you've cut out has shifted slightly, so it's crumpled, it isn't actually the end of the world, because when you tighten up the screws anyway, it's going to compress it slightly, and after a few heat cycles it's going to convert itself from a solid into a liquid and back again. So after a few heat cycles, even if it's bunched up in the middle, it should still kind of eventually just flatten out and be a pretty decent application. If it bunches up and is moved off to the edges, then that's not going to be so great, because it's not going to find its way back in. So yeah, you've just got to kind of, well, guesstimate it first of all and just try it and see what happens. You can normally, even if you do make a little bit of a mistake with it, it isn't the end of the world, and it will be kind of pretty much okay. But yeah, just, it is a little bit of trial and error, unfortunately. Much easier to do with some graphics cards than others. Realistically, if I'd have taken the cables out of there, it might have made life a bit easier. It all depends on the graphics card that you're using as well. Some are much easier to line up. I wonder actually if there's a way that I can 3D print some sort of guide dowels, so that when you drop it down, you could have some sort of 3D printed poles in there.
Tasty steak.
Or better still, something along the lines of like cocktail sticks. Then you can just pull them out when you're done.
Goldfish.
Stick a fork in me, I'm done.
Tasty steak.
Sarah says, I was thinking about thermal pads. Oh, yeah, no, thermal pads, those can get twisted quite easily.
Tasty steak stuff.
Tasty steaks. Hang on a second, I'm thinking out loud. Tasty steaks. Tasty steak, how you doing? Can you upgrade the chip on those ones?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can upgrade the chip on those ones. What chip? Which chip? The RAM chip? What, turn it from a 12 gig into like a 24 gig? Although really, unless you're using it for some sort of AI use, there's probably not much point taking it over 12 gigs, because the 3060 isn't really powerful enough to use a huge amount of RAM anyway. It's going to start to kind of chug before you get to that anyway. Mikey P says, I just use decent thermal paste. To be honest with you, I generally just choose to put on some like MX4 or something. That usually works fine. Sometimes actually MX6 or MX7 might be better because it's a little bit thicker, so it's a little bit more squishy. Salt and vinegar chip. I don't know why I'm actually doing this the hard way with it upright rather than down, because you can't see it very well, can you? Because you're in the forward camera. So, oh, you bastard. I thought that wasn't going well, and that was because that is not in the right place. That was lucky. So after this, we can put it in the PC, and we should run a benchmark and see what the temps are like, which would be kind of interesting, because it might just all go bad. Nero. I tuned into your mic saying pulling out, and I was like, what? Dutch Jan says, I use Brave and it's set up so that if I close the browser, everything is gone. I'm still...
His computer turned off.
Hmm?
Remember you said just now?
Yeah. There's actually... no, Doman... Dutch Jan's computer come on and it all came back.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that case, yeah. So it didn't actually close down anything. It would appear that it somehow saved your entire kernel into RAM possibly, and then restored it without actually closing down the programs possibly. Who knows? That's very strange. Right, we'll give this a bit of a clean. Welly Bob, you realise we need to see it in action now? Oh, you just said. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to get away with that. So I will be doing it in the... Now, it won't be a like-for-like test, so don't get too excited, because when I was testing it last night, I tested it in that PC, which is an absolute beast for cooling. So the results won't be quite as good as that, I don't think. But I'm hoping to see... I would love to see a 10-degree drop in temps, and also I would like to actually see a slight increase as well in performance, because although it got a reasonable score, it was about 100 to 200 points adrift from what it was supposed to get in Steel Nomad. So it was getting about 9,000 points, I think it was, and it's supposed to get 9,200. So it was a little bit down, which I'm not too bothered about, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, it would be nice just to squeeze a little bit more out of it. And there's a little bit of dust there. I really don't understand why they've done this, because this is a metal backplate, but it's plastic coated, obviously to stop it shorting out. But it's also resting against those, I think those are inductors on the back. You can see there's like a little mark on there where it's kind of burned into it, but it just seems like really pointless to actually even have it touching them, because it can't really cool it. If anything, it's just isolating it. Whatever. Anyway, it's a little bit cleaner, and hopefully it'll run a little bit cooler.
You copy in with that whatever.
Whatever, however.
No, wrong way of saying it.
However,
whatever.
There's somebody on YouTube at the moment who keeps on saying the word however, and I must have watched a video and it's now lodged into my brain. Yeah, whatever or however. But I've noticed recently there's a lot of people on YouTube videos who are using the word however in various different meanings, in sort of, yeah, I don't know. I've never noticed it being used as much as what it seems to.
Is it because I pointed it out? It's annoying.
It could be. You do find that there are some words that start off on YouTube with various content creators, and then it kind of, then everyone says like sick.
Curious was another one.
Curious, yeah. Curious.
Started with Joey Essex.
Sick, yeah.
I'm like, you don't really want to model yourself on him, do you? Ooh.
It's a nice cool breeze coming through here tonight. Mikey P says I use DuckDuckGo. I must admit, I am liking Brave more and more. I watch, if I sit down for dinner and I want to watch something, I will, if I'm going to go onto Amazon Prime or I'm going to go onto YouTube to watch something quite long or a longer video, I will fire up Brave. Generally, I tend to use Chrome. That's my default browser. But if I want to watch a film or something, a longer form content, I'm always really tempted to just fire up Brave because the ads, it makes such a difference. I should just pay the money and just pay for the full-on thing. Like subscriptions for Prime and for YouTube. But I think the trouble is, we've all got to the point where how the internet started out and how we all used it, we all had like the assumption, didn't we, that kind of like it was all free. It was just, wow, it's on the internet, everything's free. And then gradually this kind of like eroded away and it's all become like a paid for thing.
Like you paid your phone bill.
Which is like, it's a thing, I guess. It is a thing, but yeah, it's just such a shame how things have kind of turned out in that respect. Anyway, whatever, however. Right, so give this a little bit of a polish up with a bit of a WD-40. Make it look good as new. Or better than new, perhaps.
You didn't have ads or anything on anything, did you? Before?
Well, no, because they were, but they're on the sides, weren't they? Sidebars. So you had ads basically within the browser, didn't you? So it was all up and down the sides.
If you weren't getting paid for it, you didn't have the ads on there.
Yeah.
But they just whack them around everyone's city, like even my shops might have them, don't they? I'm not getting paid.
There, that's looking pretty sick. Actually, saying that, the blades are still a little bit dirty. So let's get the brush on the go. And just give that a little bit of a tweak.
Then I don't find much to watch on Prime these days, always pay-per-view.
Yeah, I tend to, I skip between the three. So it's like YouTube, is there a new video to watch on YouTube that I want to watch? If not, it'll be like, see if there's anything on Netflix. If there's nothing on Netflix, not that I subscribe to Netflix, but I get it free with my Virgin Media. So it's like, well, I'm not technically paying for it outright, so I don't mind having a look, see what's available. And sometimes there's not bad stuff on there, some pretty good series. But yeah, it's look at that, like new. And I will just give it a final once over cloth. I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that actually was a really good deal. £150 for a 3060 12 gig is really what they should cost. But obviously the way the world is now and the fact that it's a 12 gig card and they are really good for gaming and also really good for AI tasks. It's one of those cards which is quite sought after. Hence why they just re-released them at some ungodly price. The new versions of these, which are exactly the same, there's no difference. It's the same processor, the same everything. They just fired up the press again, so to speak. And the new ones are selling for like £350 here in the UK. Whereas I don't think they were that much when they came out. They might have been, but I don't think they were. I think they were a little bit cheaper now. I think they're like £299 or maybe £329. But like they're 20 quid dearer now, 4 or 5 years on. Actually, it's probably longer than that, isn't it? Because they came out before COVID, I'm sure. Or did they? I think they were before COVID, so it's 6 years old. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Pretty sick.
Stop it. It makes me feel like, why would you be saying horrible words.
I'm not saying it anymore. Right.
You will. Show your white feet.
You don't want to see my white feet, do you? Do you want to see my white feet? I've been wearing ankle socks for weeks now. Not the same pair, different pair every day, but
The ones you wore to school.
I've been wearing ankle socks, or like just, you know, sports shoe socks for weeks now, and shorts, and now I've got like a really, really defined tan line around my ankle. It's quite funny.
Let's see.
But I don't know. I have to ask them if they want to see it. Yeah, Sarah says, hell no. You don't see annoying ankles. Hell no. No thanks, Mike. Keep your white feet on camera.
Oh, bless.
I'm not sure if you guessed, but Kath found that rather amusing.
You can't hear me, can they?
They hear her laughs, can't they? Because it's a voice.
I thought they couldn't hear anything.
Can hear it a little bit. Yeah, I think the general overall consensus is dim white anklio, as they say in Wales. Right, I'm going to tidy up a little bit, and we will prepare for the beast. Oh God, I'm getting thermal paste everywhere. I knew I should have got myself one of those like
No.
trays.
He's been wearing a vest.
I've been wearing a vest. I ain't got a t-shirt tan, fortunately. However, oh damn it, said it. I have been wearing a t-shirt, but mostly a vest top. So I look like a right criminal when I answer the door. Like, yes,
Cold drink.
I'll get you a cold drink, you bastard. I was hoping it's gonna cool down, but the sky is clearing a little bit, but it still seems to be rather muggy. Muggy. Arletta says I have to wear compression socks there. A bit I don't know what to take off. What are compression socks? I know it's like obvious because it sounds like what it is, but what, like a really tight sock, isn't it?
Yeah. I think my mum gave you some, didn't she? I bet you didn't even try them.
But why do you use those?
To stop you having blood clots.
But surely you'd get a blood clot if you've compressed your feet.
No, it's what you have to wear on planes and stuff to stop yourself.
Why?
I don't know. Somebody told you to.
Makes no sense. Thank you, Rasher. I walked into a car showroom last night and I said to the salesman, my wife would like to talk to you about the Volkswagen Golf in the showroom window. He said, I don't have a Volkswagen Golf in the window. I said, you do now. Ba-bum.
They did that in our local shops.
One of our local shops, there was a shop called Skate and Ski, which surprisingly sold things for skating and or skiing. I know. Couldn't make it up, could you? Someone was trying to park outside the shop,
An old lady.
an elderly lady, and managed to somehow mount not only the curb, but also like that high a wall, and then through a shop window, which was parallel with the car park. So she managed to kind of reverse and then go in.
It was quite straight in there, mind. It was quite a nice job inside.
Did quite a good job. Yeah. Yeah.
But the only sad thing was a little dog slept in the window always.
Yeah.
But he managed to get out. Do you want a drink?
Yeah. What, a cold one?
No.
I got a hot one over
I
there.
don't make.
Which is not.
I don't make colds. I don't know how to do them really.
Kath doesn't know how to make cold drinks, ladies and gentlemen.
Unless it's Swiss water. I can't really make things I don't drink.
Knock us up a bit of water, will you? No, I made chicken. All right. Cook me up a nice salad.
Cook you a
Right.
sandwich.
Don't need that anymore. Did I click on that? I did. There we go. Compression socks help the feet. Right. Let me just understand this a minute, because I don't like. In your body, you have circulation, and the blood vessels and the veins, etc., are what do that, right? So for most people, when you have some form of swelling, that's when you get pain, because your blood is trying to pass through a small gap. So by putting on compression socks, are you not either compressing the blood vessels or preventing blood from getting to that area? Like if you put, like, tie something around your finger, eventually it just goes blue and gets very painful and pins and needles. And isn't that what compression socks do? Like, they do the whole thing, so you don't get any blood in that area. What's that?
I want a hot chocolate, and I've made the other one now.
Oh, you dumbass. Did John David Sullivan says, not like the shop Guns and Banjos. Not like that one. No, it was skateboards and skiing accessorize.
Ski. A little West Highland Terrier in the window. Sam
Rab says, lol, no jokes about driving as ladies are present. It wasn't a joke about ladies driving, it was a joke about the elderly or infirm driving.
I know my limits, I stay off the road.
Yeah. She was, yeah, you do see that. Like, God forbid, when I get to that age, I know I'm going to be absolutely horrendous, but sometimes you watch some elderly people, they're not entirely in control of what they're doing, very much like a learner driver. I guess it gets to the point where you're a learner and you're like all over the place, and then you settle down, you get better, then gradually as you get older you get worse, until you get like to the very end and you're just like a learner again.
Where you can't move, isn't it? And you stiffen up.
I'm gonna go and get a computer. Well, I need another blue roll. Can I get a blue roll?
Telling you to bring one down for weeks.
Oh, I knew it'd be my fault. Right, what do I need here? Oh, all of that. Doopy-doopy-doo. This week I've been very busy. Oh shit, sorry, hit the camera. Yeah, this week I've been very, very busy, even though it's been record-breaking temperatures. I've been very busy. I've been making new videos. I made a new video every single day this week. I know, you're welcome. But yeah, it's been very good. Lots more how-to videos, less reviews, because, well, there's not much money about these days, is there? Let's be fair. So I can't see people buying much stuff. So I figured, why not just, yeah, do cheaper things or stuff which is actually useful. Speaking of useful, I knew I made some mistake along the way. With the PC that we built last week, I actually put in a FSP Vita GM 1000 watt power supply, which, yeah, it just seems ridiculous overkill for what we're trying to do or trying to achieve here. So I'm definitely going to take that out and put in one of those amazing deals. Thanks again, Andi Archer. I should say, actually, Andi Archer, all-round great guy. Not only did he send me some RAM and some feathers this week, he also posted the deal about the MSI power supplies, which I'm tempted to still go and buy another one now. I wonder if they actually got them in stock still. So if you haven't heard about the deal, or you need a power supply, really cheap, and you're in the UK and you've got Amazon, the MSI GLS750, fully modular, gold rated, cybernetics gold rated, also PCI Express Gen 5.1, ATX 3.1, dual colored cables, etc. for the PCI graphics cards so they don't burn, whatever. 750 watts, gold rated, £55. Are you shitting me? That's just like insane. And it's got a 7-year warranty. Probably only got like a single Japanese cap in there, like the one at the main capacitor is probably yeah, the main cap is probably a 105C Japanese one. The rest of them are probably just some cheap tap, but 7-year warranty, 55 quid. Come on, be real. 750 watts is enough for most people. I like it. If I had more money, I would buy like 4 or 5 of them, and they'd probably last me for a good couple of years. In fact, I'm tempted to put one in the streaming PC behind me, because that's got an 850 in there. There's no real need for it now. Anyway, let's get this this piece of computer out. Everybody's favorite everybody's favorite case. When I say everybody, I mean not me or anyone else watching. I'm trying to be gentle with it because the polystyrene packing isn't actually any good at all to man or beast, and it just basically destroys itself as soon as you touch it. So I've actually had to put packing tape, as you can see, around the outside edges, just to stop it from completely disassembling number Johnny 5.
Did you read my piece?
No, what do you say?
An old guy smashed into a shop where my mate worked, and he thought he was driving a disability.
Oh god.
I wish you would get a bit confused, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Am I in my disability vehicle now, or am I in my car? Because I'm sure I can drive into Co-op with my disability scooter. You know. Oh dear. Oh, I have definitely pulled a muscle in my back. I pulled a muscle in my back vacuuming this morning. Just goes to show you should never vacuum in anger. Having to vacuum in the heat. No, I wasn't. I like vacuuming. Vacuuming is one of the most therapeutic times of the day for me. Right, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Right, let's...
Who's that called?
Gibraltar?
Gibraltar.
Don't know.
I took a couple of empty cases the other week, just got around to opening them up, and they had extra 240 AIOs installed, so I thought I know who will review these, and behold you did.
Dak, I picked up a empty case the other week, got around to... XPG case, what is that? That was the... oh god. Can't think of which ones that was now. Yeah, XPG, they did two cases, black and white. They were actually quite nice. Oh, as you'll see here, in the, you can see it actually very well on the screen, the Mike's Unboxing air freshener. I stick those in PCs as well, so that when somebody gets their new PC, they got that new PC smell. Kav's going to hate it, so I'm going to remove that before it starts distributing around the room too much. But they're very good, and you can get 3 of them at the moment for £5 on the Discord if you want to head over. It says Mike's Unboxing, both sides, and it smells like a new car. Link is in the description, and if you want to, it's in the merch section. Right, let's take out the graphics card. This is actually a pretty sick... oh god, I said it. Sorry.
I think I'm gonna have to be given a treat every time.
Given a treat?
Yeah.
What sort of treat do you want?
You think of something nice.
I can't think of anything nice, which is why I don't give you treats. Back massage. Sick. Right, let's zoom out.
So that's one back massage.
Oh. Sounds just like Angel then. Oh. Right. Intel Arc GPU. Hasta la vista. Batman. Hasta la vista. Batman. Let's get rid of this. Hey, Dutch Jan says mine is hanging in the front of my PC's intake. Awesome. They do make the room smell nice, don't they? I've always wanted to design a PC air freshener which uses the natural convection of the case to freshen up the smell of your room, especially if you're like a sweaty gamer and you've got like BO and that. You don't want that all going around your room, do you?
But you don't want cover up, do you? You want to get that bath.
Yeah, you want to have a bath really, but some people are just like, oh, pigs. When I used to work in the car shop, there used to be some real sweaty gits that used to come in. As soon as they'd gone, we'd have to spray air freshener just to stop us from puking in our mouths. Mostly it was Luke. Sometimes he'd follow the customer around the shop and spray at them. That's rude as fucking hell.
That was one of the staff.
Yeah. Luckily, that staff member's gone. I'm joking. I'm joking. I jest. Look at that. That couldn't have been easier, could it? That looks pretty good. Unlike, doesn't look sick at all.
2 back massages.
I didn't say it. I said it didn't look sick.
Yeah, but you don't use that word to describe a thing, is it? It's not a word to describe.
No.
Unless
you're being ill. Right then. I need a un cable de power. That's a power cable to you and me. And I bet I haven't got anything on this computer to actually benchmark.
Proper midlife crisis word.
I had a midlife crisis. Well, actually, no, I don't think I did. Just wanted to buy a car.
Trying to be a teenager when you're burning man.
Yeah, but the thing is, oh, just killed the stream again. Is the camera working?
Camera's looking like it's working.
Main camera, yeah. Hello. I'll put this one on for a bit. Yeah, when I was must have been 34, maybe 35. Bought my first cabriolet. That wasn't really a midlife crisis. It was just like, I've always wanted one. That looks pretty nice. I will purchase it. Got to treat yourself, haven't you? What's the point in living if you don't treat yourself? Right, so I'm going to plug in the thing. Oh, actually, talking of the thing, has anybody actually seen or heard anything from ex-President Biden in the last couple of years? Is he still about? Is he still a thing? You know, the thing. Oh, tell you what, if I turn the power supply on, that will be helpful. Now you'll possibly notice that this particular specimen actually has the illuminated GeForce RTX 3060. And I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, yeah, it works. We have a display. Look at that. Didn't they do well? Right, I need a mouse. Oh, that looks horrible. Display settings. I suppose it's waiting for the driver. Advanced display. Oh, this is hideous. Link. No, don't go to the web. I went there once, never again. Right, display. I'm sure it's an advanced display. Normally there's a refresh rate there. Okay, right, let's go back a bit. Let's try 200%. Oh, that is terrible. Come on, refresh rate. It should be there. Where is refresh rate? Oh, what's it moaning about now? Current protection, not interested. Yeah, we'll turn that on. There we go. I think that's all we need there. Is the graphics card installing? Well, that's a nice desktop background. Just feels really slow at the moment. Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. So it hasn't installed the drivers for some reason. Maybe it is in the background. NVIDIA. Oh, I'm using the wrong keyboard.
Before you realise.
A little bit. NVIDIA. I'll use the NVIDIA app. That's easier. Oh. There you go. I think it's just installed the driver anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just installed the driver now. Is that downloading? Yeah. That resolution is awful. I'm not sure what it looks like for you, ladies and gentlemen, but for me it looks bloody awful. It's like 4K on a tiny little piss out screen. Right, that's a better. I think it's still 30 hertz, which feels horrible. Advanced display. Choose a refresh rate. I would love to, but unfortunately, someone's put their spud head in the way. $60 hertz. Keep changes. It's better. Wow, the difference between 30 hertz and 60 hertz is incredible. Right, so that is working now. And I guess I'm going to need some sort of benchmarking tool. And also, we've got hardware monitor on here. Oh, wrong keyboard. Hardware. Come on. Hardware monitor. Let's get that. Close. Download now. Open. Yeah. Whatever. No, don't want to see a readme. And is that done? Yes. Oh, I downloaded 2 of them. That's pretty clever. Now, normally I would say don't get the NVIDIA app, but for this, it'll be fine. Just agree. Actually, we can open up hardware monitor now just to get an idea of the temperatures. Oh, it's gone into an interesting dark mode. Very interesting. So Radeon TM graphics, we don't want those. We want... God damn it, NVIDIA, get it away. Right, there is our GPU. So currently it's idling at 31 degrees and 41 on the hotspot. So about 10 degrees difference between the two. That is absolutely fine. I'm reasonably happy with that. Don't optimize games. And don't enable the overlay. Actually, do I want the overlay? No. Ooh. And drivers. And download. I'll let it do its thing. Let's grab a drink while I'm doing... Oh, I haven't got a drink. Oh, I have. Got a cup of cold tea from about 6 hours ago. That is a tasty burger. Right, install. Normally on that you do the clean install version, but it's a pretty clean install anyway, so it should be fine. So let's get on and do that for a minute. Go back to the main camera and let's have a look, see what people are saying. Ordinary Do says now you need to use DDU to wipe all the remaining Intel drawer bits before installing the official NVIDIA software. I probably will do. At the moment, I just want to get it up and running and just see what the temps are like. That won't affect the temperatures. It might affect the stability, but it won't affect the actual temperatures. So we'll see. Mike P says the football just kicked off. Feel free to... no way. England won, France 0 already in 4 minutes. Why can't they play that normally? When there's no pressure on, England do really well. But when there's no pressure, England... when there is pressure, England just fall apart. Sinister Chef says, I've rolled back my driver to 61062. The newest seems written by a 10-year-old or with AI. Alexa says DDU in safe mode. Sounds like a title of a song I should write. You definitely should. That is true. England won. Wow. I forgot how nice this PC looks, actually. Obviously not the case, but the actual insides do look pretty decent. Right, let's go back to the Stream Desktop. No, I don't want Stream Desktop. That's not the right one. I want that one there. I want that one. And I want a mouse. Hello? McFry. I could have swore that was doing things. Why is that display gone? Oh dear. Oh my days. Ah, it was just having to think. Right, I need to move myself out of the way. Let's put myself there. There shouldn't be anything important happening there. Right, close. What's new? So, check for updates. We're up to date. Cool. Okay, so what do we need? Let's get something for benchmarking. Let's see. What is going to be in a... I don't want to install Steam because my Steam account. I don't think I can install the what's the program?
Leisure Suit Larry.
No, not that one. Steel Nomad Benchmark. I don't think I can install that as a standalone, can I? Let me know in the chat. Can I install that as a standalone program? Ordinary Dude, how you doing? Says, honestly, it doesn't look that bad, even with that case, really as good or as good as many pre-builts on the market. That is the thing, yeah. Yeah, 3D Mark. Can you get 3D Mark without having to get Steam? Yeah, superposition, that might do it. Let's try superposition. Wrong keyboard. Superposition benchmark. Free download. Absolutely free.
$9.99.
Just $9.99. 3D Mark website, I believe. Oh, can you? The free version. But then you have to sign in or create an account or something. I want to try and do it without anything at all. So can install as a standalone, yes. May have you link the account, but you still can. Yeah, I don't really want to be putting my account details in on a stream or on a system, which I'll probably be selling. I suppose I should get a burner account. Or use just Google 3D Mark. Well, we'll try superposition.
Yeah, I to do that soon when it's digital ID.
Yeah, I have to give my digital ID, thumbprint, head print,
Burner.
nostril print. Hello, are you expanding? No, it's just the way these trousers hang.
And you have to hurry these streams up as well because all the under 16s won't be allowed to watch it soon.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, under 18.
Right, I've got to think now. Kath might help me. When I was doing that benchmarking last night, can you remember if I had the glass of the case off or on?
I think you had it off. Because what were you balancing on your head? And I said be careful because it might fall on that glass case that was on the table there.
What was I balancing on my head?
I don't know. You're balancing on your head. And I said, mine, that doesn't fall off.
Glass off then.
On that glass case cover, but I was outside last night.
Awesome.
What were you balancing on your head though?
I can't remember now. Synthesis, that's a good one. I use it a lot, to be fair. Yeah, it's pretty good. Google without dark mode. It should be against the law. Can the GPU link to system ARGB? No. There was a thing on these graphics cards with the OEM that they had to have the illumination in green. So it stays green. You can disconnect it or you can put a bit of black tape over it, but it is green. That is it. There's no RGB on it, I don't think. I could be wrong, but I'm almost 100% sure that there is no RGB control on it. Was Mike drinking last night? No. Hey, Skystalker. I'm guessing England have just scored again. I just heard lots of yay. Right. Launch the benchmark. Let's put me, oh God's sake. I think I can put myself over here where it won't be too much problem. And yeah, we'll just do the benchmark then. Should I just run it as standard? 1080p, actually let's do, yeah, 1080p medium. That should heat it up, shouldn't it? Right, so we'll just let that run through a series of little testettes. Now, in full disclosure, the room temperature is, I do not know what, probably about 24, 25 degrees. There is a window open and there is a relatively cool breeze coming in. The case side panel is off, so it's going to be a similar sort of temperature as what when I was benchmarking last night in the case behind me. Also with the window open, also with the window open, the glass off, and yeah. That has got better fans behind me because there's 3 fans directly beneath it, blowing cold air straight into the GPU. And we were still hitting the sort of 90s. So yeah, we'll just see what happens and attempt to not get copyright strike. It's quite funny actually, almost every day now there's a new copyright strike that comes through saying that someone has used your content. And it's normally from a live stream and it's normally from something like Superposition or what's the other one? What's the one we generally use all the time? Heaven, Unigine Heaven. No, that's Cinebench. We always say that the Cinebench R23 living room scene just reminds us of Dave Aiken for some reason.
Well, I thought he put a picture of his living room up, his dining room. When
Yeah.
he lived in his
It was originally because when we were posting benchmarks on Discord, Kath saw it and said, "Oh, is that Dave's living room?" It's like, no, it's a benchmark. And since then, it's always been, oh, there's Dave's living room.
dining room.
Yeah,
Looking at his bar.
he's done a really nice render of his dining room.
It's raining now, but it's sure it's black.
Oh, come on, get in there, you bastard.
They did undergo probably right. Right to use on the website.
Why did this piece of shit not go back in the box? Come on. It definitely doesn't want to go back. God's sake.
Get it in.
Right, you are going back into your box. There you go.
Yeah, no more about it.
It's got to tell it nicely. There's a little chamfered edge at this end of the box, so the graphics card will only lift out in a certain way. If only they'd paid so much attention to the actual card itself rather than the box, things would be a whole lot different. What a waste of money that was. As much as I love the guy from Intel who does all the presentations, I still think he's full of shit. Sen Rab. Hey Glenn, I'm late tonight. Hope everyone is well. Yes, thank you, Glenn. Good to see you. Oh, it was offside, was it? Ah, shithawks. Is superposition heavier test than Heaven? Superposition is graphically more intensive. Heaven, because of it being less demanding, can run at higher frequencies, so you generally get much higher FPS. And oh, we've got a finish. So we've got a result of 15135. And let's see, the more important bit is how hot did our GPU get. Let's use the right mouse. So GeForce GTX, oh, that looks much better. GPU 70 degrees max on the GPU, and hotspot is 81. So that's about 10 to 15 degrees cooler already on the first run of the graphics card before the paste is actually settled. That's pretty good. And we got to 155 watts. So 155 watts is a little bit on the low side, so maybe we didn't stress it quite enough. So we might need to adjust our settings. So let's go back. And what other ones can I do?
You're singing our theme tune.
Let's go back. Let's try 4K optimized, see if it'll do that. 4K optimized. That should give it a little bit of a run for its money. Not too shabby. 11 degrees C delta. Give it a blast with Furmark. Might do that. David Underhill says my living room is not that tidy. I know it's the other David Aiken. Semrab says Cinebench 2026 is the latest, but I still use the older version. I prefer the older version. I'll be honest with you, I really do. I do prefer the older version. It's a lot quicker to run. It's a much lower footprint, so you can keep it on your system without taking up precious space. And these days, space is very much at a premium, isn't it? You think of like hard drives and SSDs, how expensive they are right now. It's just ludicrous how expensive things are. It seems to be running quite quiet. The fans don't seem to be really ramping up at all. Ah, it says the temperature's in the corner, doesn't it? I think temperature 60, 70. Yeah, 6970 is kind of like, I don't think it's going to get above 70, is it? Maybe 71 if we're lucky. Anyway, I could think this is a potentially a success, which I like. And it means now I can change the listing very easily on the Facebook Marketplace and just say now it's got a RTX 3060 12GB GPU, professionally refurbished. Me. I might start saying things like professionally refurbished. It is my job, technically. I'm not very good at it sometimes, but...
2-0 now. Didn't hear no cheers.
I didn't hear no cheers. France waving the white flag yet. They did that months ago. Bless them. It's actually quite impressive what the RTX 3060 can do. I know it's only a CAN benchmark, but the 3060 is actually a really good card. I said years ago, the 3060 Ti, the 8GB version when it first came out, was what, 300 and something pounds? Can't remember exactly. Was it 269 or was it 369? I think it's 369. But the 3060 Ti was absolutely brilliant. And it hasn't really aged. Everything has just got more efficient. So in terms of actual power, most of the graphics cards on the market now, especially around the sort of lower mid-range, are all basically like 3060 Ti's, but they just do it with less power, or they've got added extras like DLSS or FSR. The 3060 Ti was, I think, the equivalent of like the 1060. Like the 1060 and the 1070 were absolutely fantastic. And the 3060 Ti and the 3070, there wasn't really anything between them as such. I think the 3070 was just marginally quicker, but it still only had the 8GB of RAM. If it had more RAM, it would have been an absolute, like, amazing card. But the 3070 was held back because it didn't have enough VRAM. When it came out, it was alright, but in a very short time, it kind of got blown away already by the 3080. But anyway, that's history. What I'm trying to say is 3060 is still a really good card. Even now, like, what, 5-6 years later, which is unusual. And it's far better than the godforsaken 3050. What was all that about? Saying that, I quite like the 2060. The 2060 KO from EVGA. That was a pretty awesome card. I did enjoy that one. I think I went from the 1070 to the 2060 KO and was a little bit disappointed. Christ, how long is this going to take? Come on. Considering how, like, it's doing a benchmark, it's actually really quiet. Most of the time I would have to adjust the fan settings. So what did we get? What will it do? I don't care about the result really. And what do we get to this time? So 72.5 and what's that? 83.7, I think that is. Is that 83? I ain't got my goggles on. Yeah, it looks like 83.7. So yeah, it's warming up a little bit. The fans don't really seem to be doing a great deal. Don't seem to be getting much faster. The highs and the lows are basically the same. So I'm wondering if it needs a reboot to get those fans working properly. Let's try a reboot and see if we can get those fans to work any better, because we have only just installed the driver. We'll do We'll do a quick restart, see if I can get anything else out of those fans, because they seem to be almost just a static speed, and you'd think they would speed up, but it may need a reboot after the driver's installed, so we'll see. So I'm pretty sure when I had it in the PC last night over there, I could hear the fans quite audibly. So maybe there's a certain threshold on the Lenovo OEM where it's got to get over sort of like 80 degrees or something stupid before it actually does anything. There's a fly in here and it's driving me slightly potty. It keeps on crawling around the camera lens. I'm not sure if it's coming through on the screen. I don't think it is because it's on the outer edges of it, but I can see the fly there. It's gone now. Oh look, it's this. I don't want to back up things, and I'd like to skip that for now, thank you. And we'll open that. Go away, fly. My head is not a big bloody ice cream cone.
Indian. With your feathers on. I've read somewhere that to deter flies from the house, you sellotape feathers on your head.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Give it a go.
Right, I'm going to do 1080p extreme now, see what that does. I want to hear the fans ramp up. They should ramp up, but maybe they don't. I need to find out more about this Lenovo OEM card. The thing is, even if the fans do stay the same speed at 1000 RPM, I don't really mind that too much, as long as it stays under like 80 degrees or 75, 80 degrees.
Do they know how to make a fly trap?
Who knows how to make a fly trap?
What do you put in it?
With natural ingredients. So I watched a YouTube video and they put honey, brown sugar and water in a Coke bottle with the top cut off and then put inside out. And they said that worked. But
it only worked with one you swatted.
I had to actually kill flies and put them in the bottle. Oh, it's running. Right, does this say fan RPM? It doesn't, does it? I don't think. It just says temperature and clock speed. Utilization is at 98 to 100. So it's under a pretty decent load. I can't tell if they're...
Someone commented on the latest YouTube comments that said stop making sense on the internet.
1080p extreme is heavy. Sinister Chef says I keep my fans at 40% on my 5070 gaming trio and it stays under 85C whilst gaming. That's pretty good. Just reading your letters. I hate ray tracing and always turn it off. I think I'm in a reasonably privileged state now because my main GPU in my PC over there is a 9070 XT and I honestly don't really know if our ray tracing is even on or off half the time. I just let it do what it wants to do. I don't deliberately really change any settings as long as it is giving me a reasonable FPS and it looks like good, not hot garbage. I don't really care. And I don't think there's very few game titles where I actually can realistically tell immediately that ray tracing is actually on. I can't think of any, really. Obviously Cyberpunk is one of those ones where, yeah, possibly. But even with ray tracing off, Cyberpunk still looks really nice anyway. So it's not a great test of ray tracing. I think that's actually a problem with a lot of games and also the state of the market. Like ray tracing isn't really a thing, is it? We don't really need it. We never have for the last like 40 years. So like why start now? Well, we know why, because it was the testing ground for basically AI. We were the guinea pigs. You're welcome. This is staying really cool and quiet. That's worrying me. I shouldn't be worried, but I am. Right, I think we've got roughly the same score as well. And where are we with our results? 70.6. Oh, actually, no, the fans did change then. So they went up to 1500 RPM. Great. That's a weight off my mind. The fact that they've actually did physically change speed, although it wasn't particularly audible. So I am pretty pleased with that. So that is great. It seems to be running a lot cooler, and we've dropped a few degrees already, possibly as well. The room's getting warmer, that's for sure, but the breeze coming in is possibly cooler. So yeah, it kind of swings and roundabouts there. But I think for a very nice change of things that happen on these videos and streams, I think we can definitely chalk this up as being a success, because we've now saved the best part of £130 graphics card wise, arguably similar if not better performance, more desirable, quieter, and using less power. So we can put in a smaller power supply as well.
But unfortunately, the same case.
Unfortunately, the case isn't the same. If you don't look at the front of the case, it's actually all right. And we've definitely got some eye candy going on there. That IPS screen for the AIO is phenomenal. Actually, I could have looked on there for the GPU temps, couldn't I? I didn't even think of that. Oh dear. There's a massive screen there that says CPU and GPU temps. I could have just looked at it and gone, oh yes.
It's not very clear, is it? All that flashy, flishy.
Yes, there is that to it. But I could have changed that.
But you're in a little box as well, so it's very
Yeah.
tiny.
But that is not bad. Right.
With a cooler in it.
I was tempted to change the cooler. I probably will leave this one in here for no other reason. Well, put it this way, if anybody who's watching who is on our Discord, or like we know you, if you seriously like this cooler and you want it, make me an offer and then I'll take it out and I'll put something else in. But I didn't think that anybody on our Discord or that I know of that would actually want this cooler for like a nice price. The reality is now that when this cooler came out, I think it was like £160. I did see on scan.co.uk, I think last week or this week, it was down to like 109, which £109 for an AIO cooler of this quality with that screen is pretty insane. It's pretty good. Like, obviously you got things like your thermal rights, but even the thermal rights, some of the Warframe, some of the Warframe models now are like in the 80s to £90 mark, and that's their screen, and the software is nowhere near as good as Thermaltake's. Thermal rights good, but they're nowhere near this. So yeah, at £110 now for that cooler, like, it's pretty sweet. And I did notice as well the other one which I was going to swap out with, which is the where is it? Oh, please don't fall. You are expensive graphics card. You fell. I was going to swap it out. If I was going to swap out the motherboard and put in a different cooler, I would have done this one. So this is the MSI Core Liquid P13 360. Very nice. Not as nice a screen, but arguably for the ecosystem for MSI, it ties in really nicely. You can use the MSI screen software, or you can use the MSI sensor software. You don't have to use the entire sensor if you don't want to. So this will work in other PCs as well. But this also was about 150, I think. These are also down to about 120. So, like, between this and that, I would argue that is nicer. But it's in there. It's roughly the same price anyway. So kind of that screen, that graphics card, this PC in general, I think it's going to sell itself. If it doesn't, then we'll do the MSI stuff. Well, speaking of which, MSI reached out this week actually and asked if I'd be interested in doing a desk setup video. And I said to them, well, we haven't really got the setup here for doing it, to like really do it justice. They wanted to send a 34-inch widescreen monitor, a pre-built PC, MSI pre-built PC with a 5070 Ti and I think it was a 9800X3D, I think. And also a monitor mount, which has got RGB and is gas assisted. But the monitor mount was like quite expensive. I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, it's nice to do a desk setup video, but we haven't really got the setup for it here. I don't know how I would display a monitor like that in this setup anyway. So yeah, I kind of said, look, I'd love to do it. I'm very interested, but I don't really have the room or the facilities to set it up, because like, I can't really put a 34-inch screen up there because there's nowhere to physically put it. I can't use a monitor mount because I can't access the back of this Kallax desk. So the only other place would be on this table, which again doesn't really loan itself well to doing that sort of stuff. So I passed it up. Shame really. Realistically, they wouldn't have let me keep any of it anyway, so I wouldn't have been any advantage for us personally. I honestly don't think, like, the PC I think was like the best part of 2,700 quid. And I can't really see a massive amount of our viewers shelling out that sort of money for a PC. Maybe some, but not many. And like the monitor arm being somewhere around sort of 200 quid just for a monitor arm. Like, I love MSI stuff, but 200 quid for a monitor arm? If that's the real price, like, that thing better make tea. That's a mad price. Mad price. Anyway, I'm going to turn this PC off now because I'm happy. And it's running nice and cool. The GPU is currently at 30 degrees. That's come down really well. That's not much. Actually, I bet the CPU is warmer than that. What's the CPU at? Yeah, the CPU is about 2 degrees warmer than the GPU. So the CPU is about 32 degrees package temperature. That's showing the hottest core, I think, at the moment. Or whatever. Anyway, it's not quite what it says in there. So it says they're, yeah, they're both there roughly about 40C. There's another goal. There is, I'm guessing that's the hotspot temperature and the warmest core. Or the package, possibly. Although, are they actually changing? Yeah, load is changing. It's quite good, actually. All that software is running on there at the moment, and the CPU load is only like 2%. That's pretty good. Thermaltake, actually, give them their due. They have actually improved their software recently. There's been another update, and the actual kind of system load on the software is really low now, which is awesome. But anyway, I'm happy, so I'm going to turn this off.
3-0 now.
But why? What's the point? Why? Why?
It's the taking part that counts.
It's not the taking part that counts, it's the winning that counts.
Just saying. They're teaching people, isn't it?
Ordinary Dude says, I've got Gigabyte 4K monitors with factory arms and KVMs. Great monitors. Yeah, I actually do like the Gigabyte monitors. They're actually quite, like, sensibly priced. Oh, hang on. I've done the wrong thing there. Let's go back to the main camera. There we go. So, I think this is a winner. We've done well. As a team, we've come through it. Oh, I nearly started talking like Dan then. Is anybody watching this heard of Dan, the coffee man? If you have, let me know. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. Dan, the coffee man is somewhat of an internet sensation here in Bristol and potentially elsewhere, but I'm not sure where, but maybe he is. But let me know if you've heard of Dan, the coffee man. is it's a slightly unusual story, which one day I'm sure I will share with one or two, or maybe all of you. But yeah, it's, I don't want to say too much, but it's an unusual setup there. Bless him. Right, that is, I think, done. Actually, that's made it good as well, because I've now I can proudly put my Intel Arc B580 box back somewhere under there, so I never ever see it again. What else do I have out there? Huh? Where's my graphics card gone? Oh, there it is. Oh, I've just replaced another box with another box. That's the way we live. Right, let me just put this into my my box of tricks. Of course, I will be getting this all out once more for when the MSI doodad gets here. What's that? When the bins come. Yeah, when they're collecting the bins, this will all be going back out again. Make that Intel GPU a doorstop. Yeah. Trouble is, doorstops are actually useful. I don't quite understand how this goes. Does that fit on there? That sort of fits on there. This, I hate it when they put like expensive cases into this shitty polystyrene. Because it just falls apart at any notice. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I've actually had a blast tonight. I really have. That's it now. I'm screwed now. I'm going to keep on saying it. See, this phone shit is rubbish. Hey, Davey.
You see what I mean? Listen to someone and then you're speaking like them.
I do. I used to be like that all the time. I'd like watch a movie and I start saying stuff that they say in the movies. I think it's because I don't actually have my own personality. I just borrow other people's. Huh? I was never here to begin with. I used to want to be Burt Reynolds in the 80s. I want to be Smokey and the Bandit. Or the Cannonball Run. J.J. McClure. Hey?
The little monkey.
The pet monkey. That was only Which Way But Loose. That's Clint Eastwood.
Totally
Yeah.
wrong.
Totally wrong.
I like the little monkey. Yeah.
Hey, David.
The little monkey.
Babe, would you like a Feber?
Yeah.
Let's plug in my keyboard. You can actually see the screen now. Lovely. Mikey P, I bought a Sharkoon case a few weeks ago. That had the best packaging I've ever seen on a case. I think I remember having a Sharkoon TG5, I think it was called, a very, very long time ago. And I probably sold that case to Glenn, actually. Glenn, if you're still in the chat, did I sell you that case, the Sharkoon TG5? I'm almost 100% sure I did. Although me being 100% sure doesn't really mean a lot. Let's be fair. I could have just completely made that up. Oh, it's been a long few years. Lots of things have happened. Lots of things to remember. Lots of things that have been done. Who knows? Glenn says, yeah, I bought the TG5 from you. Haha. I thought it was. When was that? That was before COVID, wasn't it? I'm sure it was before COVID. But yeah, the Sharkoon TG5, Glenn had that. That was, yeah, that was awesome. Aletta says, I've always pictured myself as a female Rambo. I'm not going to say anymore. Actually, Strachan says, oh, are Intel Arc a bit crap then? Not really. They're actually like really capable graphics cards. It's just Intel Arc is the modern day equivalent almost of Betamax. So like Betamax actually had better image quality and was overall really a better system than VHS. But VHS won because it was kind of like the more mainstream format. It just seemed to grab the attention. It was a little bit cheaper to produce, that kind of thing. So it kind of grabbed the market. And once you grab a portion of the market, it's really hard to gain traction if you have lost it or if you're trying to get into that market. Look at the smartphone industry. You got Apple, you got Android, and you got Microsoft. Microsoft tried and failed on numerous occasions to get into the phone market with various different devices based on either Windows CE originally, then going over to kind of Windows 10 based devices with the Lumia phones, etc. Very, very hard to break into a market which already exists, especially if there's like a kind of ecosystem. Now you could say with Betamax and VHS there was the whole kind of pornography thing. Basically whatever system gets pornography on it essentially becomes the winning formula. And there was something with Sony and Betamax where there was something about not allowing adult movies on Betamax or something, or licensing, something bizarre anyway. And so yeah, it basically kind of lost the race. I'm not sure if that was like a meme or like a legend or something, but I'm pretty sure that is somewhere grounded in what happened. I think a lot of it was down to licensing. Because of the licensing, Betamax basically lost out, even though it was the superior format. And likewise with the Arc, the B580. The B580 for the money, in terms of like the specs, is the better format, and it's also a better all-rounder. Better image quality, arguably. More VRAM for the money. Probably a more powerful GPU overall, because it's a larger die. But they just haven't optimized it well enough, and obviously game studios and stuff aren't going to write games specifically for an Intel graphics card when it's got a very niche market. Obviously they're going to look towards AMD and Nvidia predominantly where they can. So
4-0.
it's kind of, yeah, that's where it is. 4-0. Jesus.
Didn't hear no cheers.
Yeah, we didn't hear any cheers.
Somebody went to the toilet, I think.
4-0. I'm good to, like, no offense to anybody if you're French, but screw you, French people.
It's a fat vine.
There's always been a rivalry between the English and the French due to our kind of our history and our proximity, and yeah, it's a strange love-hate relationship. A lot of UK people like to go to France to visit, mostly to buy duty-free fags, to be fair, but yeah, it is what it is. John says, if only they could play that good against Argentina. Yeah. It's too late now, Mike. Should have done this last game. I know. Arnold Arbert says, I'm running an Intel Arc B580 with my Ryzen 5 7600X. No complaints. You shouldn't have any complaints. The thing is, if you've already got one and you use it, like, it's great. But the thing is, if you're someone trying to sell a computer on the used market where pretty much everybody is either Team Nvidia or Team AMD, largely Team Nvidia, with like probably a good 80% market share of the used market and like closer to a 90-95% of the new market. It's a difficult one to break into. Like Intel I don't think they beat or got more than 1% of the market when with the Arc graphics cards, and that is terrible. They didn't sell particularly well. They came out in a funny time as well, where they kind of could have been the savior of gaming, by the time they'd actually sorted their act out with the drivers and got everything working properly, lots of other graphics cards got a lot cheaper. So they kind of missed the boat there just slightly. They could have been great, but sadly, I think they relied way too much on horsepower and voltage and wattage to try and keep up with the others. The A series, this A770 was worse. The B580 is actually a pretty decent card. I quite like it, to be fair, because I do video editing and gaming. So the Intel Arc B580 for video editing is absolutely phenomenal. And it will give like a 4070, maybe a 5070, or like a decent run for its money in Premiere, which is like no small achievement, especially when you think like a 5070 is like 500 plus quid. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame Intel couldn't do more. I think if they'd have released a bigger, better Arc graphics card, which could compete gaming wise with like a 5070, 5080, they would have been great and people would have actually taken notice. But if you're just like doing really low end parts, people are not going to take you seriously. And it's a very strange thing to say. Like AMD are struggling with the same thing. They knew they couldn't compete with Nvidia for the high end, so they didn't bother because they knew they couldn't. So the 9070 XT is roughly sort of like 5070, 5080 sort of level performance. They know they can't touch the 5090, so they just don't bother. And that has really massively affected the market share because they're losing more and more market share every week, every month, every year, because they cannot compete. And people generally want to buy the best if they can afford it or if it's available. So yeah, Nvidia are getting stronger and stronger and offering us less and less, but still gaining more and more market share. It's a strange world. Marketing works in a very, very good way. And the thing is, a lot of it is down to resale value. People know that if they buy an Nvidia graphics card, in another 3, 4, 5 years, it's still going to be worth roughly what they paid for it, if not more. Especially if it's like a 5080 or 5090 or 4080, 5090, that sort of thing. Dax says, Arc GPUs are discontinued now. It will never happen. No. It's really sad. It is really sad that Intel couldn't be that kind of third runner, which we really did need. But they were definitely the Microsoft of that race in terms of how mobile phones worked or went. Right. I think that is pretty much it. Unless anyone else has got any last minute desperate questions they wish to ask, I would like to say thank you very much for your continued support and also for your super chats. Much appreciated. And for those of you that have actually taken out channel membership, we greatly appreciate that also. Especially those that have upgraded their membership, such as, oh God, brain's gone. Rasher, Mark Gaines, and Netritz.
I didn't see Rasher did it, sorry.
They've all, no, Rasher and Netritz did it earlier in the week, or last week. Mark Gaines upgraded his today. So thank you very much. Helps massively.
Mickey Woods.
And Mickey Woods has rejoined us again. And also, obviously, all of you other members as well, viewers, people that just click on the like button. You're all fantastic. We love you lots. And it helps keep the lights on. It really does. Both of them, in fact. So yeah, I think that is going to be pretty much it. I think Alexa says, I'll never buy an NVIDIA GPU. I like AMD's Adrenalin software. I'm not bothered either way, to be honest with you. Sometimes AMD software sucks balls. Sometimes NVIDIA drops a ball as well and it all goes wrong. I think they're both suffering because they're both on the AI bandwagon. So they're both using AI to help construct drivers, which is evident in the amount of problems. Like, without getting a new conversation going, this last couple of days, I've been trying to design a small widget which lives in the system tray so I can quickly change between two specific power profiles on my PC. One of which being power saving, So the monitor turns off after 5 minutes, the PC sleeps after 30 minutes. That's my kind of all-day driver. That's what I use it all the time. But when I'm doing streams or I'm recording video footage, I want it to be always on for the screen and always on for the computer. I don't want it to lose any power or turn off, and I like to be able to look across to the screen to see what's happening. But at the moment, I have to click on the start bar or the settings cog, type in edit, go to the power plan, change the screen to whatever from always on to 5 minutes, change the sleep from never to 30 minutes, click apply, click OK, and then get on with my work.
So it's just like logging into any ever.
Like doing anything, but I do it quite regularly. So I want a little thing on my taskbar that I can just click and I can select either profile. You'd think that would be a simple thing to do. I've been trying to get both Gemini and Copilot to help me write a very, very small script to enable this, and also to have a little bit of flexibility so I can change some of the settings as well, and have it so that there's a little icon on the system tray that shows either a battery icon for power saving or a lightning for kind of full power, and also an option for default Windows power plan. It's pretty straightforward. Google failed spectacularly. It got it kind of halfway there, but as soon as I started changing the icons, it just blew the code apart. So I went over to Copilot, and Copilot is just like absolutely horrendous for AI. I've never known a more up its own asshole AI system in my life. It's insane. You type in something or ask it to do something, and it gives you like about 3 pages of dialogue saying, yeah, this is what we're going to do. This is going to 100% fix it. We know what the problem is. This screenshot you've shown me shows us exactly the smoking gun of the problem. Blah, 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 goes through all this stuff. Says, I'm going to now give you a brand new script. It's going to be totally rewritten. It's going to be absolutely accurate. And it's going to work 100%. Copy and paste this into your thing. So you copy and paste it in, run it, and it crashes at the same place. So you just take a screenshot of the crash, put it into the chat, say, yeah, this is the smoking gun. I know exactly what's going on here. We're going to rewrite the code. I'm going to change this line. We know we can't do this because this doesn't do this and this doesn't do that. So let's change that. Let's put this into a new code. Here's your new code. Try this. It'll work 100%. And then what do you want me to do? Do you want me to change the icons? Do you want me to make it an exe program? What do you want to do next? It's like, whoa. Hold your fucking horses, AI bitch. Because, first of all, I've not tested this shit. So chances are it ain't going to work anyway. Reality is it's not going to. So we're not going to be doing any of that future stuff because we need to concentrate on the here and now, which clearly does not fucking work. And it got me so irate. I wasted at least like 4 hours over 2 days with this, going round and round in circles of like AI hallucinating that it knows how to code.
Did you fart then?
No, it's my watch there. So yes, I despise it. You never go full AI. Oh, I know, it's just insanity. I do not understand how, like, if you look at how bad Copilot does anything, or if you look at Gemini and look at how bad it does, like, most things, and it's like, there's bizarre things, like you'll ask it a question and it comes back with like a very authoritative answer and actually cites its answer. So you think
sometimes if you say no, tell me the truth, don't give me all this bullshit, it changes it completely.
The thing is, yeah, sometimes it'll say stuff. If you like say to After like Arnold Schwarzenegger says, like, stop bullshitting me, and ask it for the truth, sometimes it will actually come back and say, yeah, you got me. Here's the actual real truth. And you're like, so what did you just tell me just now? You think how many people in this world who are like probably not particularly well educated and will just take this AI nonsense as being gospel and go ahead and start spouting it off on internet forums, or worst case scenario, like putting it into their own daily lives or into their computer. Like, yeah, you can flash your BIOS using a 9-volt Duracell battery and 2 jump leads. It's bullshit. Anyway, so yeah, I've been extremely frustrated by it. It's a very, very simple thing I want to achieve. And the stupid thing is, I know 100% if I use OpenAI's Codex, probably about 3 or 4 prompts and it'll be done and it'll work. But I'm out of tokens and you've got to pay for OpenAI's codecs for tokens, etc. And I begrudge paying for it because I know deep down it can do it. It really can. But Codex does it so well. It just, it really bugs me that I got to wait like a month until I get a new bunch of free tokens. So yeah, this time next month, the program will be working because I'll just take what I've got already, chuck it into Codex, and it'll go, yeah, no worries. And it'll go off and it'll do its own thing, and it'll come back and it's done. And the best thing about Codex is it actually runs your code in real time in like a virtual thing. So it knows if it doesn't work. It actually comes up on the screen saying, running this, blah, blah, oh, error code here, so we need to rewrite this, blah, blah, and it just gets on and does it. Whereas with Copilot and Gemini, they're like making all these weird suggestions. And I had one thing where it was stuck on line like 3 of the code. Like, if you're stuck on line 3 of the code, there's something really wrong with the actual structure of the code, clearly. Like, line 3. That's ridiculous. And it kept on doing the same thing over and over, like saying, oh yeah, we need to do this. And it got to the point of saying, are you sure you've got the right version of the software installed on your computer? For like Auto Hotkey is the program that I've been using. And like, have you got the right version? Have you got version 2? It's like, yes, the version you told me to install. I installed that still. And then a little bit later, it's like, I think we've got a smoking gun here. This is what happens in version 1 of Auto Hotkey.
I'm surprised you haven't been saying smoking gun all night.
Oh, it's, yeah. It's, drives me mad. So if anybody knows of a decent AI assistant for coding, please let me know. Get Kimmy. Yeah, way cheaper is good, but free is better. So yeah, I'm not putting money into it. I'm not putting money into it. I'm really not. I'll put time into it, but I'm not putting money into it. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day because I think we've, it's 11 o'clock now, so I've done my due diligence. I've done my almost 3 hours. So thank you all so much for joining me. Any AI suggestions, let me know on the Discord or drop me an email or whatever. Pigeon post. Don't send it by AI mail because it probably won't end up. Thank you all so much. I've been Mike. This is my unboxing reviews and how-to, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of the football. I think it's going to be, what, 5-0? Sorry, France. Night, everybody. Say night, Kath.